Your budget is more important than your credit score because without a good budget, you miss payments and then your credit tanks. So, in today's video, I'm going to give you guys the stepping stones to be able to create a budget, what goes into a budget. And what I'm going to reference to is kind of how lenders look at your overall income and your expenses, because there's a lot of things they don't factor in. And this also prevents you from buying too much of a house, should I say, so you don't put yourself in a bind and potentially even lose that home due to foreclosure. My name is David Piatek. I am a loan officer and able to help you utilize that amazing VA home loan. You can schedule a call with me and my team down in the description below. Look, budgeting can seem daunting, right? And we talk to a lot of different folks. Some people have really good Excel sheets, literally breaking down every single penny that they spend, while others just they're just like, well, this is how much I make. I don't really track it. I just spend until I don't have money. And in general, right, if you know how to budget, right, which is tracking your income and tracking your expenses, think of like an accountant, that's what they do, then you're able to control your payments. You're able to minimize if an emergency happens, you have funds, right? So that actually helps you. So let's go right into it so I can show you guys what goes into an actual budget. And again, let me know down in the comments section if this is something you guys would be interested in. All right, so this is the sheet that I made, right? So basically a budget and payoff planner. And I try to factor in the most common questions that I have and other people have as well, just kind of all into one. Normally, you want to know, well, how much money am I bringing in, right? So that's your income, right? So and we'll kind of build this out as we go. So let's just say you work at a store and you're a W 2 employee, your gross pay, let's just say every month is 5,500. And after taxes, and this is why you do want to pull out an Excel sheet, not Excel sheet, you want to pull up your own documents so you can actually take a look at what this actual dollar amount is. Right now, I'm just using rounded numbers just to make life easier for the purposes of the video. And this is for educational purposes only. Okay. So let's just say you have 4,250 coming in, but let's also say that you have VA disability income as well, right? So if that income is in, it's tax-free income. So essentially your gross pay, let's just say it's 4,400 a month. That equals same thing on your net. And so essentially we start building how much income we're bringing in. So it's letting you know, look, your net income is 8,650. This is what your gross income is, how many sources of income you have, and what your annual net is. Okay. This thing also lets you add, and let me know too if like you guys do seasonal work, if this would be something that would help, right? So you could potentially work at a winter market, right? And there, let's just say you're grossing 1,000 a month and you're netting 850. And let's just say you work October, November, December, January, and February to do that. Okay, so that's part of your income, right? But it changes throughout the year. Normally, I think if you're doing seasonal income, you kind of remove that. If you have additional additional bonuses, part-time work you have, you can also be able to put that in this, but you also be tracking that yourself. Now, when it comes to expenses, okay, you want to be able to identify exactly, well, how much is my rent for the month, right? So let's just say your mortgage payment's $2,400 a month, and that's a fixed expense for you. You have gas, utilities essentially, right? Gas, electricity, water, and you could budget, and this normally will be variable, but you want to set at least a budget, right? So if your budget for all these things is $150, then you would note like, hey, in July, based on these three bills, it was $125. Okay, so it came in a little bit lower. Groceries is something you do have to budget for. I would just say in general, right? Groceries are expensive. So let's just say you do $750 for the month. And then you end up being like $875 because you wanted to get some extra ice cream. All right. So budget, same thing with fuel. You know how much you drive to and from work. If you go on trips or if you have planned trips, you also know what that looks like. Let's just say gas would be $350, and you actually end up spending $350 for that. Insurance would be things like car insurance, health insurance, any type of additional insurance that you're paying out of pocket. You would put in here life insurance policies, anything like that. Insurance also is expensive. And normally that is a fixed cost. Utility for like phone and internet, that's also expensive these days. So let's just say that's a fixed budget because you know how much it costs every single month. Subscriptions, these could be things like, hey, how much money are you spending on streaming services? So let's just say you have a couple of them, they're $50 a month, and that's what you have. You also have dining and personal, right? So if you plan on going out, like for me, I go out, once every other week. So let's just say budget for that $200. So it's basically going to be $100 a shot every time you go. I don't know what you're getting for that much, but it's not too much. And then also you can add expenses as well, because you want to ensure anything that you spend money on that you're able to track that. Same thing goes with if you have irregular costs. Let's just say you anticipate car repairs for the year are going to cost, $1,500 because you have to get new tires this year. So you want to be able to at least set up the budget so you're setting money aside. Same thing can go with life insurance policies. So if let's just say that costs you $600, you want to be able to budget for that. So when the next year comes around, you have that money, right? So this is why you want to be able to itemize all these things. Savings, the same thing, right? You want to be able to determine, well, how much money do I have right now? So, hey, I have $2,500. I have some money in a retirement account. Let's just say $25,000. Let's say my house value right now is $450,000. Mortgage balance owed is going to be, let's say, $425,000. Let's say you bought a house not too long ago. So essentially, this will calculate, once we have everything in here, what your target emergency funds that you need, right? Because you all want to figure out, how much of a reserve do I need, right? Am I completely on fixed income? Am I employed? And if I'm employed, well, what happens if I lose my job? So sometimes, you want to do less, you want to do more. So it just kind of lets you know in here where you are. In here, right? The reason why retirement doesn't count, because that's normally not a liquid money you have, because if you were to get rid of that, let's just say if you liquidate it, you'd be paying taxes on that. So it is something you got to keep in mind throughout this process. But normally 6 months is, I would say, my target, just in case something happens. You could also have a family member pass away that's earning income. So you could also have time to figure out what you're going to do. So we have our target goal for this, right? That's our things that you personally have. So let's just say you have a Visa credit card. Let's just say credit card, right? And let's say that credit card, you owe $2,500, APR 17.99. Let's just, let me see if I can change this. 17% interest rate. And let's just say your minimum payment on that's going to be $75 a month. So here it just kind of tells you, like, 3 years, 10 months at minimum, how much interest you'd be paying if you're just paying the absolute minimum on this, right? So let's just say you have credit card number 2. Same thing, credit balance is, let's just say it's going to be $15,000. APR is going to be 20, let's just say 28%. Minimum payment on that is going to be $450 a month. Right. And so this is why you're adding all this stuff in, because we're going to look at how to create a payoff plan for this. Let's say you have an installment loan. That's going to be like a car loan that you have. And let's just say that balance is going to be $25,000. APR on this probably going to be a little bit lower, like around 6%. And then your car payment, let's just say it's going to be $450 a month. Okay. For that. And then you have a payoff planner here, right? So this kind of letting you know, like, hey, based on your overall income, right? So back to this, you understand that, I have $3,250 a month in surplus, right? So you could do a couple different things with that. You could accelerate your savings. You can also take extra payments and pay off your debt, right? So let's just say you took, $1,250 of that money to pay off, let's just say, the Avalanche approaches the highest APRs first. Snowball effect is going to be your smallest balances first, right? So essentially, once you pay off one thing, you have all that extra money to aggressively pay off the next account. I personally like the avalanche method because you're just getting rid of the highest interest rates first. I feel like that should save you the most amount of money. But interestingly enough, if you look at the calculation, the savings are not too much different for that. So again, you at least have a plan, and that's what you always want to be able to do, is have a plan to be able to save as much money as possible. Now, when it comes to your actual monthly spending, right? When you're, let's say you're thinking about home ownership, well, you're putting in future payments, right? Well, what if my mortgage was this? Well, what about taxes and insurance are this? This is what my payment is. That way, it sets you up to be able to know, well, on a monthly basis, how much money am I really spending, right? And it all starts with just your first month. It doesn't make a difference when you start. You can start today, right? You just say, look, when I go out, I will keep a receipt for everything that I buy. I'll come home and I'll put it in. There's a million apps out there for things to auto connect. One, they take all your information and you're giving that away. But two, it makes it just that easy. And it also makes it that easy to walk away from budgeting. Me personally, right? It's not like I budgeted my whole life. Okay? It didn't happen. And I had the same issue. How do I get to budgeting? And I started, and I'm a fan of an Excel sheet. So I have an Excel sheet even today that I update every single month. I have other people that do the same thing, right? They're like, here's my Excel sheet. Take a look at it. Am I thinking in the correct way? Or is there something that I can change to make home ownership a reality? And it doesn't make a difference how much money you make. If you're just on VA disability and make $1 million a year, it doesn't make a difference. Normally, the more money you make, normally you have an accountant or you have someone that helps you budget with that. But I'll tell you, most of the time, if you're making money, they're also really good at budgeting. So, in general, a budget will set you free. So, if your credit isn't the best right now, who cares? Focus on budget, because once you control your budget, then you could be on the path to fixing your credit. And there's really no situation where your credit is shot forever. There isn't, because if you guys don't know, derogatory credits fall off after 7 years. And if you have like a chapter, if you have a bankruptcy, after 10 years. So no matter what, within 7 to 10 years, you could be in the very good financial position. It all starts with just figuring out what your income is or what it needs to be, right? There's also that factor to that. How much money are you spending, and can you control those expenses? Because that's going to make a big effect on what you can and can't do. So make sure, again, drop a comment. I'll create this and make it publicly available. Like I said, I did this for myself, but I thought of you guys as well. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.